Good morning, students. Today's topic is pollen-pistil interaction. What is pollen? Pollen is pollen grain and pistil is the gynoecium. Pollen-pistil interaction means what happens after the deposition of pollen grain on the stigma. Here, pollen-pistil interaction, and it is the definition. It is the interaction of pollen grains with the sporophytic tissues of stigma. Okay, interaction of pollen grains with the sporophytic tissue of stigma. Sporophytic tissues are present on the stigma. What is the interaction between these tissues and pollen grains? It begins with the pollination and ends with the fertilization. Pollen pistil interaction begins with the deposition of pollen grain on the stigma, that is pollination, and it ends with the fertilization process. Okay, fertilization means union of male gamete with the female gamete. All the events from the deposition of pollen grain on the stigma to the entry of pollen tube in the ovule, inside the ovule there are synergids, okay, are referred as pollen pistil interaction. I'll repeat, all the events from the deposition of pollen grains on the stigma to the entry of pollen tube in the ovule, that is synergid, are referred as pollen pistil interaction. So pollen after deposition of stigma, after deposition of pollen grain on the stigma, pollen tube arises. You know that, and that pollen tube enters inside the style and reaches up to the ovule, and then fertilization occurs. All these events are referred here in pollen pistil interaction. Next, pollination does not guarantee the transfer of right type of pollen. Often, wrong type also land on the stigma. The pistil has ability to recognize and accept the right or compatible pollen of the same species. Thus, wrong type of pollen is discarded by pistil. So, there are some chances to transfer wrong type of pollen grains, that is pollen grains of the other species may transfer on the stigma. So there is no any guarantee to transfer right type of pollen always. Sometimes wrong type pollen grain can be deposited on the stigma, but the pistil means that gynoecium, the stigma or the sporophytic tissues present on the stigma is having ability to recognize, means mm, uh, uh, to identify and accept only right or compatible, which is matching to that stigma, compatible pollen of the same species. Means even though some wrong pollen grains are deposited on the stigma of the flower, but there are some mechanism to recognize right type of pollen grain, and if there are some wrong type of pollen grains are deposited, at that time it is discarded or eliminated, not accepted by the pistil. Now, next point, the stigmatic surface of the flower refuse other wrong type or incompatible pollen grains. Just now I told you about that. They refuse means they do not accept the wrong type of or incompatible, that is called as incompatible pollen grains. A physiological mechanism operates to ensure that only intraspecific pollen germinate successfully. Means there is some physiological mechanism or some signals are there, some chemicals are present on the stigma which recognizes right type of pollen grain. So a physiological mechanism is operated by that stigma to ensure only intraspecific, means so, species which are belong to the same means the pollen grains which belongs to the same species. Intraspecific, interspecific means of two different species, and intraspecific means in between the same species, and then the pollen germinate successfully. If there are some compatible pollen grains or intraspecific pollen grains are there, then only it germinates successfully. The compatible pollen absorbs water and nutrient from the surface of the stigma, germinates and produces pollen tube. Means if there are compatible pollen grains are deposited on the stigma, then that pollen grains absorbs water and nutrients from the stigma, from the surface of the stigma where it is deposited. Okay, what happens? See what happens after pollination. After intraspecific or compatible type of pollination, that pollen grains absorbs water and some nutrients from the surface of the stigma and then starts to germinate and then produces pollen tube. Its growth through the style, just now I told you, its growth means growth of pollen tube through the style is determined by specific chemicals. Some specific chemicals are present on the surface of stigma. The stigmatic surface provides the essential prerequisites for the successful germination, which are absent in the pollen. Okay, stigmatic surface are having that essential prerequisites or some material for successful germination, and that mechanism or that substances are absent in the pollen. Means pollen do not decides, but stigma decides that even pollen germination is possible or not. The pollen tube is finally pushed through the ovule, okay, and reaches up to the embryo sac. You know that inside the anatropous ovule there is embryo sac. Okay, the pollen tube finally pushed through the ovule and it reaches up to the embryo sac. The tip of the pollen tube enters in one of the synergid. Okay, the tip of the pollen tube enters up to the synergids and then it ruptures. That synergids means two cells which are present at the either side of egg cell. Okay, middle there is egg cell and uh, around that there are two synergids. So the tip of the pollen tube enters in one of the synergid out of the two and then ruptures to release the contents. Okay, when that pollen tube enters in the synergid, at that time synergids ruptures, pollen tube also ruptures, and then there is the release of contents, means release of two male gametes which are present inside the pollen tube. Due to the pollen pistil interaction, intense competition develops even in the compatible pollen grains. Means if even though there are some compatible or matching pollen grains are there, intraspecific pollen grains are there, but due to this mechanism, pollen pistil interaction, intense competition means very strong competition develops, even compatible pollen grains are present or gametes are present in that pollen tube. Do you understand? Okay, next. Compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen pistil is determined by specific proteins, special proteins. Okay, just now I told you that some chemicals are present on the surface of the stigma which can recognize compatible type of pollen grain. So, this compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen pistil is determined by special proteins. This process involves pollen recognition followed by promotion or inhibition of the pollen. Means this compatibility and incompatibility of this pollen pistil is determined by special type of proteins which are present on the surface of the stigma, and this process involves either this process involves first pollen recognition, and then if it is right type then promotion, and if it is not right of or it is wrong then inhibition, okay, of the pollen. To promote means to allow and inhibition means not allow if it is wrong. Okay, it also plays means what is the significance of pollen pistil interaction. Okay, it also plays important role in sexual reproduction and seed formation. Because of pollen pistil interaction there is sexual reproduction in the angiosperms takes place, and then seed formation also takes place. Pollen grain can also be induced to germinate in a synthetic medium. Means you can uh, artificially you can pollen grain can also be induced to germinate in a synthetic medium. Okay, means you can provide that medium sucrose. That chemical is sucrose, a sugary substance, sugar content. So this sucrose induces pollen germination and pollen growth in vitro. In vitro means under controlled condition in laboratory. You can make this condition. You can make that stigma receptive by using synthetic medium which is having sucrose. So this sucrose induces pollen germination and pollen tube growth in vitro. Addition of boric acid facilitates and accelerates pollen germination. See how in vitro means how in vitro means what? In controlled condition inside the laboratory you can do this. Okay, so sucrose is synthetic medium is required, sucrose is required. Then if you add boric acid, at that time it facilitates and accelerates, means speeds up the process of pollen germination. Next, artificial hybridization. So just now I told you that was the base of this artificial hybridization. It is one of the major approaches used in the crop improvement. Okay, why we should do in vitro, why we should do this all these processes purposefully? Okay, to get hybrid products, hybridization, artificially hybridization. So it is the major approach used in the crop improvement. Only the desired pollen grains are hand pollinated and used for fertilization. Okay, whatever you can select desired pollen grains which are having high quality, which is having high quality, and then you can you should do hand pollination by hand. Okay, so only the desired pollen grains are hand pollinated and used for fertilization. This accomplished through emasculation and bagging procedure. Okay, what happens, this is called as emasculation and bagging procedure. Emasculation means removal of pollen grains before anthesis for this artificial hybridization, and then by bagging procedure means you should tie up the bag over that flower so that so that unwanted pollination is inhibited. Now, what is double fertilization? See, double fertilization is a complex fertilization mechanism in flowering plants. Means near about all the angiospermic plants show double fertilization. It is very easy to understand. Just you think about it very carefully. It was discovered by Namaste in the liliaceous plants like lilium and fritillaria. Okay, so these are the liliaceous, means family, they belongs to the family Liliaceae, and the name of that plants are lilium and fritillaria. These are the two plants where first time double fertilization is discovered. Now, after a pollen grain has reached to the surface of the stigma, it germinates and form a pollen tube, you know that, which penetrate the stigma, style, ovary, ovary chamber, and then enters inside the ovule. Okay, once more I will repeat this mechanism. When there will be the deposition of pollen grain on the surface of the stigma, then what happens, this pollen grain germinates. Germinates means it, there is entry of pollen tube inside the style. That pollen tube is having two male gametes and nucleus. So these two male gametes enters through style up to the ovary of that flower, and then it enters inside the ovule through micropyle. Okay, now the growth of pollen tube, see here, what is this? It is the pollen tube, and this pollen tube is entering inside this. Okay, or this pollen tube is entering inside this anatropous ovule through micropyle. Okay, so the growth of the pollen tube is guided by the chemicals secreted by the synergids. These two cells are called as synergids, 1 and 2. This middle is called as egg cell, and these two are called as synergids. Middle cell is egg cell, and these two cells are called as synergids. Just like here is also shown, here is also that is shown. The growth of pollen tube is guided by the chemicals secreted by the synergids. Okay, it usually enters ovule through the micropyle. Usually the entry of this pollen tube, which comes from the above side, it enters inside this ovule through micropyle, and it is called as porogamy. When entry of pollen tube inside the ovule takes place through micropyle, then it is called as porogamy. But sometimes this pollen tube may enter from the chalaza. This is this, you know that it is the micropyle and it is the chalaza point. So it may enter through the chalaza, is called as chalazogamy. And sometimes this pollen tube enters inside the ovule through integuments. This, you know that you should learn this diagram and all the labels also. So sometimes this pollen tube may enter inside the integuments. This pollen tube may enters inside the ovule through integuments. It is called as mesogamy. Okay, see next. But in some cases, it is found to enter through chalaza. Okay, here it enters through the chalaza. Sometimes this pollen tube may enter inside the ovule through chalaza. It's called as chalazogamy. And in some plants, by piercing the integuments, means uh, by doing hole, means by to pierce. Okay, so in some plants, by piercing the integuments, it is called as mesogamy. Okay, finally it penetrates the embryo sac of the ovule through its micropylar end. But म्हणजे irrespective to the entry of the pollen tube inside the ovule, म्हणजे कुठूनही जरी त्या pollen tube ची एंट्री झाली, sometimes this pollen tube enters through micropyle, is called as porogamy. In some cases, it may enter inside the embryo sac. It may enter inside the anatropous ovule through chalazogamy. Sometimes it enters through integuments, called as mesogamy. पण कुठूनही जरी ती पोलन ट्यूब एंटर झाली तरी शेवटी ती मायक्रोपायलर एंड मधूनच इथे एंट्री बघा. मायक्रोपायल एंड थ्रू मायक्रोपायलर एंड कडूनच ती इथे आत जाणार आहे. इथे सुद्धा मायक्रोपायलर एंड कडूनच आत जाणार आहे. नेक्स्ट, द पोलन ट्यूब कॅरिंग मेल गॅमेट्स, two male gametes, penetrates in one of the synergid. Out of the two, any one of the synergid is used for the entry of pollen tube. Watery contents of the synergids are absorbed by pollen tube, which then ruptures and release the contents, including two non-motile male gametes. Okay, so when this pollen tube enters inside the embryo sac, at that time, out of these two synergids, any one synergid is ruptured, and not only synergid ruptured, but this pollen tube also ruptures and it releases two non-motile male gametes. Inside this pollen tube, there are two non-motile male gametes. As non-motile male gametes are carried through the hollow pollen tube, it is called as siphonogamy. You should remember this. As non-motile male gametes are carried through the hollow pollen tube, there are two male gametes, but they are non-motile, and then also it is carried through the pollen tube. It is called as siphonogamy, that ensures fertilization to take place. Okay. Now, what is syngamy? See, syngamy and triple fusion are the two events in the sexual reproduction in angiospermic flowering plants. Syngamy and triple fusion, these are the two important events in all angiospermic plants. What is syngamy? Syngamy is the fusion of, okay, now see in this diagram, double fertilization is shown. This is the pollen, it is the stigma, it is the pollen grain, pollen tube arises and it enters through micropylar end inside the embryo sac. Okay, it is the pollen tube style. Now see, syngamy means what? It is the fusion of the haploid male gamete with the haploid female gamete, that is egg, to produce diploid zygote. See here, syngamy. Out of the two male gametes, one of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell, which is middle male gamete, and the product of syngamy is diploid zygote. Here, after union of this male gamete with the egg cell, there is the diploid zygote is produced. Now second, in the triple fusion, second male gamete, okay, there are two male gametes. One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell and another male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus, which is present at the middle. It produces primary endosperm nucleus, that is PEN. See here, triple fusion, and it is syngamy. Syngamy means what? Union of the one male gamete fuses with the egg cell and it produces diploid zygote. Okay, it is syngamy. And here it is the triple fusion, means another male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus and produces PEN. is equal to PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. Okay, that develops into triploid endosperm. The product of this is diploid zygote, which produces embryo, and the product of triple fusion is triple fusion, secondary nucleus plus male gamete, and the product of this is production of triploid endosperm, that is nutritive tissues. Okay, next, the zygote develops into embryo. Okay, means this zygote, the product of this syngamy is zygote, diploid zygote, and the zygote develops into an embryo. Zygote पासून नंतर काय तयार होतो? Embryo. The zygote develops into an embryo. Syngamy is a type of generative Syngamy is the type of generative fertilization, whereas triploid fusion is the type of vegetative fertilization. You should remember this, underline this point. Syngamy is the type of generative fertilization because there is a production of diploid zygote, and triple fusion is the type of vegetative fertilization. Okay, here both male gametes participate, means whatever the two male gametes was present inside the pollen tube, both are utilized. First one is utilized here to produce zygote, and second one is utilized over here to produce PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. So both the male gametes participate, and therefore it is described as double fertilization. Okay. Now, what are the significance of double fertilization? First, it is a unique feature of angiosperms, means this process or this type of double fertilization is present only in the angiosperms, that is flowering plants. It ensures that the parent plant invests a seed with the food store only if the egg is fertilized. It ensures that म्हणजे त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला ही खात्री असते की the parent plant invest a seed with a food store, not only seed but food storage is also there, only if the egg is fertilized. Second, the diploid zygote develops into an embryo which consequently develops into a new plant. Diploid zygote, which is produced after first fertilization, it develops into an embryo. It is consequently develops into new plant, means definitely this zygote will develop into embryo, and embryo will give rise to the new plant. The triploid primary endosperm nucleus develops into nutritive endosperm tissue. Okay, so this triploid endosperm nucleus will become nutritive tissue, nutritive endosperm tissue, which provides nourishment. It restores the diploid condition by fusion of haploid male gamete with the haploid female gamete. Means what is diploid? Embryo should be diploid. So it restores the diploid condition by the fusion of haploid male gamete with the haploid female gamete. That is called as syngamy. Through syngamy, it also helps to avoid polyembryony. So development of many embryos at a time is not possible because of this double fertilization. So it also helps to avoid polyembryony. Okay, so these are the significance of double fertilization. I hope you understand all these things, and you should make notes of all these points, then only you can study well. Thank you.